Hello, gentlemen and barbarians. It's the Rooster here. I want to talk to you a little bit today about minimum wage, income inequality, and how it's affected our society over the last 30 years. Some of the solutions that I think that we can come up with to solve the problem. Part of the issue is there's two classes really left in our society right now. There's the really, really, really rich, and there's those people that make minimum wage. Now, the two middle class groups of people that have been around in America for probably the last 150 years are the small business owner, who was usually considered an upper middle class merchant or something like that, store owner, mom and pop shop, flea market, stuff like that. And the upper middle class union worker, who was considered a laborer with skilled trades, but got paid much, much more than minimum wage. Now, what has happened is big business has found a way to get rid of both of those middle class groups. The unions, they didn't want the unions because they wanted those people working for minimum wage. They wanted to crush the unions and get them out of there. Collective bargaining is probably the worst thing in the world for big business. And of course, mom and pop shops are competition for big business. Walmart, the first thing that Walmart does when it goes into a city is it undercuts all the prices, and the mom and pop grocery stores are gone, the mom and pop hardware stores are gone. Anybody that can't affect economies of scale, that doesn't have 40,000 people working for them and purchasing agents buying from 40,000 different suppliers around the world to get the lowest price, a mom and pop shop that has to buy locally, is going to be 30 cents more, 40 cents more for this or that. They can't compete, and people are driven by price, so they go to Walmart and then they stop doing business in the mom and pop store. So those two groups are gone. So now what we have is the really, really, really rich corporations and the owners of corporations, and those people are sitting at home not doing anything, but they have 40,000 people working for them, so they're making tons of money. And then you have those people that are working for them, and they're working for minimum wage. The reason that the minimum wage doesn't work is because once you increase the minimum wage, the corporation then has to maintain its profit margin, so it increases the cost of goods that are sold in its store. So then your 10 cents more that you got in your minimum wage is offset by the price of everything going up 10 cents because you got to buy it at Walmart. So it's chasing its tail. You raise the minimum wage, and then companies raise prices, and all the prices go up, and then you're right back where you were before. The only way to get around this that I've found is to use something that's like a cost of living allowance or a COLA, or to set the minimum wage at the poverty line. If you figure out what it costs to live, say it's $20,000 a year. Okay, you divide $20,000 gross by 52 weeks, and that's how much the minimum wage is going to be. If it's $600 a week, then divide that by 40, and you're looking at what? $12 an hour? Right? So that's one way to do it. The way that I don't really like that much. The way that I like to deal with the minimum wage, or I'd like to see dealt with the minimum wage, is kind of what Germany does. And that's attach the minimum wage to the maximum wage. So the CEO of a corporation, let's say a CEO wants to make $1,400 an hour. What you do is you say, okay, you can make $1,400 an hour. You can make as much as you want. You're the CEO. If you make $1,400 an hour, your lowest paid employee must make 1/100th of what you make. So your lowest paid employee has to make $14 an hour. Now what this does is this uses greed of the owner of the corporation, the CEO, and the ambition of the CEO to actually help raise the standard of living of the people that work for him. If he wants a raise, if he's happy at $1,000 an hour, $1,000 an hour, I don't know any people that can't live on $1,000 an hour. But if he wants $1,100 an hour, he's got to raise the janitor's wages to $11 an hour. And that's really going to help out the janitor quite a bit. So this thing of tying them together, when the maximum wage goes up, the minimum wage goes up. So it's always staying with, and it can lower. You have a minimum, you have a federal minimum set, whatever you set it at the poverty line. Like I said, you can't pay less than that, no matter how much you make as a CEO. But it's also going to prevent CEOs from taking these huge bonuses, these incredible millions and billions of dollar bonuses, because if they do that, they're going to have to pay all of these employees that they have, these 40,000 employees that they have, large sums of money, so they're not going to do it. And what it's also going to do is it's going to create a system where they can then reinvest the money back into the business, into marketing or advertising or whatever. If they don't take it as a salary and it's a profit, they can use it to reinvest in the business. And that's what used to happen in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Guys didn't take bonuses of, $30 billion, work for 2 years, and then quit and go to the Caribbean island and live on the $30 million for the rest of their life. They took a salary of $1 million a year, and they put $2 or $3 million into advertising, growing the business, growing manufacturing, growing whatever. But they grew the business. So that's my idea. You attach the minimum wage to the maximum wage in a company. And as one goes up, the other goes up. And if you want a raise and you're the CEO, you have to give all of these employees that you have a raise as well. So, let me know what you think in the comments section. It's a pretty straightforward idea. Tell me if you don't think it'll work. Tell me why you don't think it'll work. But for now, that's my thoughts this week on the minimum wage and income inequality and how to restructure our society so that it would be better. One law, one simple law. Just say, hey, you can't make more than 100 times more than your least paid employee. And we got income inequality solved. But that's all for me today. Thanks for talking to you. This is the Rooster. I'm heading out. Till next time, take it easy.